Hello everyone, welcome back to Thrive Yoga Fit Transformational Coaching. This is Erin. So I am recording this podcast from Kerala, India. I am out here training Kalaripayattu. I am staying at a Kalari with a small Indian family, and I'm having a mind-blowing, amazing time. Kalaripayattu is the combination of martial arts, yoga, AyurVeda, Vedic astrology, and massage techniques with marma points included. So I'm learning a lot, and this trip is interesting because I was supposed to be here with my partner Matt, but his job decided to onboard him while our trip was planned, and it was just too risky of a trip to take, and I won't go into all the details, but I really sat with, should I still go? Because it was supposed to be a trip for both of us. And, I kept sitting with it, and I decided the wanting is there, even if I don't fully understand why. So I decided to come. And I'm training at this small place. I just kind of found it on a whim, and I researched it. I was talking to the owner. His name is Hari. And came here, and, first day I got here, 3 hours after I arrived, they said, okay, your training begins now. I'm like, what? Okay. So unpacked my things and went into the Kalari. And the teacher, I saw him when I arrived, and I looked into his eyes, and he has the kindest eyes I've ever seen. His name is Deepak, and he is, 5'0", sweetie, but fierce. Oh my gosh, he's this guy is about 5th level in the 7 levels that you can attain in Kalaripayattu. So that means that he knows how to kill people, but now he's learning how to heal them, which I didn't fully understand the order of that, but my friend Neha she was explaining to me, like, in the primal order of things, that's kind of how it would go. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can kill you, and all right, maybe now I don't want to kill you, maybe I want to heal you. So it's like, all right, well, explain it that way, it makes sense. So there's 7 levels to Kalaripayattu, and when you go into the Kalari itself, so the Kalari is the hut. It's, has specific dimensions, and that's where some of the Vedic astrology comes in. As far as the exact measurements, I don't have that off the top of my head because I'm learning so much here. But it's specific dimensions, and it's, like a clay, mud, flooring. And there's a putra, there's a Ganesha putra, and then there's a Guru putra. So when you walk into the Kalari, you walk in just as you would with a temple. You step in with your right foot, and you touch the ground with your hand, then you touch between your eyes and then into your heart and step in. Once you step into the Kalari itself, then you walk over to the Putra, the Kalari Putra, then you walk over to the Ganesh Putra, and each one you're saying a prayer, and then finally the Guru Putra. And then you take 2 steps back, and then you walk all the way backwards to the side of the hall, and then you're in. So my first day, I think that everyone was just trying to get to see where I'm at, and it's interesting because here I am taking Kalaripayattu on a whim, and it is the combination of literally all of the things that I've studied, including weapons. Certain weapons that I've studied have been bow staff, nunchucks, and a little bit of sword. And so Kalaripayattu includes all of those things and more, including shields and crazy jumping techniques. So, it's the Guru call, as they're called, which is the Guru, essentially, of the Kalaripayattu, the teacher. He is trained in the fighting arts as well as in things like massage and marma points to help stimulate and open the nadi channels. And the form of Kalari uses different languages. So I know a good amount of Sanskrit, and that's actually, my teacher doesn't know so much English. So we've been speaking a lot in Sanskrit. And his his language is Malayalam. I think I'm saying that right. Malayalam. So I may have not said that correctly, but I'm just learning everything with the language, and I'm taking in a lot, and I wanted to kind of capture my experience. I'm writing a lot, I'm taking lots of videos, and luckily I'm able to film inside the Kalari. So if you're not following my social channels and you want to see this adventure that I'm having, definitely make sure that you're following my social channels. It's really awesome, cool stuff that you might not see anywhere else as far as the training techniques that I'm going through. So I just want to say it's intense. And thing about where I'm at in my journey is I have deep dived into yoga, and I can definitely connect with myself in that parasympathetic realm. Not a problem. I can get there pretty easily nowadays because of my regular sadhana, which is my daily discipline practice. The challenge for me comes when I'm very sympathetically stimulated, like my heart rate's up, my blood pressure's up, all these things, to stay connected to myself, because I do still disassociate at a certain level, and it takes a lot of effort for me to ground back in. So the first day I was going through the motions, and it's all very challenging. So I was breathing hard, my heart rate was high, and Deepak said, "Okay, now breathe." And I said, "Okay." He's like, "Okay, now feel your heartbeat." And I put my hand on my chest. He said, "No, hands down, feel heartbeat." And so I did, and I started, actually erupted in tears, because no matter what, you can always connect to your heartbeat. Even if you're stimulated and you can't find it at first, if you breathe and calm yourself, your heart is always with you. It's always beating strong. It's always teaching you how to contract and expand, right? Unmesha, the universe opens its eyes. Nimesha, the universe closes its eyes. Concealment and revealment. So there's this pulsation that's constantly happening in the body. And the heart is the easiest way, like through the abode of the heart, is one of the easiest ways to connect back to that contraction and expansion within your body and within the entire spanda of the universe. And so when he said that, it just brought me home. And then I was training from that space. And so every time I want to disassociate or disconnect, I just try to connect back to my heartbeat. And it sounds so simple and so rudimentary, as far as where I'm at in my spiritual path. But, there's deep concepts that I can get and talk about here when I'm in a very calm state. It is an entire different ball game when you're pushing yourself as hard as you can, when there's not really a lot of breaks and you're sweating profusely, and for hours afterwards I'm still sweating. It's very difficult for me to actually have a full meal here because my body is so hot, and I'm definitely eating 3 meals a day, but it's hard to eat because my body's so hot and my muscles are so contracted. I'm not sure if it's going to come through on the podcast, but there's a very awesome bird that just flew into the back of the shala. Oh, that's cool. So anyways, I'm on this journey here taking Kalaripayattu, and I'm not fully sure I know why. I know that I am training at a very high intensity. I know that I am learning a lot. I know that my body is incredibly sore. And I know that I'm here to sort something out. And I don't know. I do have to say that I feel like either I did Kalaripayattu in a past life, or it is the culmination of all the things that I've been studying in the U.S. in fragmented ways. Here, it's a whole art. So I don't know. Who knows? I might run away to India and study Kalaripayattu and dedicate my life to it. Who knows? But I'm here. I'm loving it. I'm having so much fun. And it's also challenging, but the good kind of challenging, where you're fully engaged with life. And yeah. So anyways, love from India. And I wanted to drop you a little line just to see how I'm doing. And I have a couple of really cool topics coming up for my next few podcasts, including the balance of Shiva and Shakti, masc and femme energy, which my Kalari teacher is demonstrating beautifully. And I will be sharing a couple more things that I have absorbed also from Mr. Todd Norian, who I had on the podcast quite a few episodes ago, but he came to the studio like right before I left. The day that he left is the day that I left for India. And I had a very heart-opening experience with him. I spent very intimate spiritual time with him, and I'm very grateful that he wound up staying with Matt and I inside of our little home. And he's a very gracious and wonderful person. So lots to share. I do want to mention to you that I have 8 spots left in my yoga teacher training. That includes 2 weeks in India. So if you've been practicing yoga and you've not been to India yet, I will tell you this. It's stitched together so much information that was floating around, not just in my mind, but in my nervous system, in my body, and made it all come alive in a whole form. And so if you even have an inkling that you want to come to India, I highly recommend you come check it out. We are doing an informational online as well as in person January 7th. So, all right, hopefully my microphone is working well because there's a lot of distraction in the background. So if you want more information about the informational yoga teacher training, you can check out the website thriveyogafit.com. You can also email me at Erin@erincoach.com. I will message you back. I always do. And yeah, have a fantastic week. Thank you for stopping in, and namaste. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to support the podcast and if it's helping you, please consider writing a review. You can go to iTunes or Google Play, go into the search bar and type in Thrive Yoga Fit Transformational Coaching, scroll down, and you can leave a review. This helps other people to find me as well as bumps us up in the search ratings. Also, this podcast is sponsor-free, so that means we don't receive anything for doing it. If you feel so inclined and this podcast is helping to support you and you want to return the favor and help to support any production costs of the podcast, feel free to give a donation to a Venmo link, Thrive Yoga Fit, or PayPal, Erin@erincoach.com. If you don't have the means, don't worry about it. We're not going anywhere. You're all good. But if you would like to give back, you can give back in those ways. Thank you so much. Namaste.